Well, still wounded by the town of Mammoth Lake's bankruptcy declaration on Monday, citizens both condemned and praised the town council Wednesday. That was the 4th of July when they met to consider using $400,000 of utility tax money to subsidize air service. Bennett Kessler filed this report. Mayor Matthew Lehman said the crowd that came to the 4th of July council meeting was about 50-50. Some were frustrated, Lehman said, and some were in favor of us using Measure U funds. Lehman said the perception that the Mammoth Lakes Town Council has been sneaky in holding a holiday meeting with little notice is incorrect. Mayor Lehman said, quote, "We received information Tuesday that if we did not go forward with the summer-fall air service subsidy, Alaska Air would pull all its flights out," end quote. Now, Lehman said it was Mammoth Mountain that mentioned it. He said Councilman Michael Raimondo called Alaska Air to verify this, and he said there was a high risk and they were considering pulling flights, said Lehman. He said this is why the council called a special meeting quickly. The mayor said Alaska Air gave Mammoth Mountain Ski Area a deadline to sign their ongoing air service contract Friday. Now, Lehman said he believes, quote, "Air service is too big and important. We couldn't wait," end quote. In view of the fact that the town has just filed for bankruptcy protection, would Mammoth Mountain consider paying the town's share of the subsidy? Mayor Lehman said, quote, "We asked if they would. They were not willing," end quote. The mayor said air service is a priority in the town's general plan. Now, asked if bankruptcy weren't a game changer for a lot of things, Lehman said he doesn't think the town and its citizens are willing to jeopardize air service. He said Mammoth, quote, "wants to be competitive with other resorts," end quote. Now, after some citizens voiced opposition to use of Measure U or utility tax revenue, and some supported it, Mayor Lehman said the town council voted to respect the Measure U process and see what is possible. He said that the council has asked the committees involved with Measure U allocations to examine the process and see if the town can use the utility tax for air service subsidy. Lehman said the town will, quote, "probably submit an application for Measure U funds," end quote. Lehman also said that the town is, quote, "trying to have discussions with Howard Pickett and Rusty Gregory at Mammoth Mountain." Well, this next story is pretty cool and very near to my heart. Bill Walton, not only a great basketball player and commentator, but also a great human being as well, as I hope you'll agree. Bill Walton is coming here to the Eastern Sierra to help the Eastern Sierra Land Trust. And we were honored to interview Bill Walton and, well, just bask in his positive attitude. Bill, how'd you get involved with the Eastern Sierra Land Trust?
Bob, I am the luckiest guy in the world. I make my choices in life based on purpose and people. And what could be better than coming to help the Eastern Sierra Land Trust and what they do in terms of raising hope, awareness, consciousness, and much-needed funds to protect our beloved Eastern Sierra. And then the people who are involved, David Woodruff, who I've known from my years now of going out to Death Valley. And I don't get to backpack anymore. I used to spend a ton of time growing up coming to the Eastern Sierra, but because I've had 36 orthopedic operations, because I have 2 fused ankles, because my knees, hands, and wrists don't work anymore, and now I have a fused spine. Other than that, everything is fine, Bob. I'm just not able to go up and down. I need perfectly level ground, but what I can do is that I can ride my bike. And so we're all going to congregate and celebrate in July 20th, a Friday, and July 21st, a Saturday. We're going to be right there in Mammoth, the centerpiece, the core right there of the Eastern Sierra, and so much of the focus of what we're all trying to do, because with the population pressures on our world, and with now over 7 billion people on Earth, and with all the demands for resources, for water, for open space, for all the things that the Eastern Sierra stands for, more than ever now, it's critical that we all come and participate. Now, this is going to be an action-packed weekend, Bob. There's going to be basketball clinic on Friday afternoon in Mammoth. There's going to be a big bike ride out there, fun bike ride, people of all levels, capabilities, ages, families to the overly serious. Come on out to the June Lake Loop bike ride. That's going to be on Saturday. And then on Saturday night, back in Mammoth at the Mountainside Conference Center in the Mammoth Mountain Ski Area, we're going to be having a fantastic gala dinner and auction and music. The Flashbacks, one of my favorite groups, is going to be playing there. I love the Flashbacks. And it's just going to be a phenomenal celebration of what can be in life, where we come and step forward, where we make a difference, because it's far too easy to sit around and complain and to whine and to make excuses. We're taking action here on behalf of the Eastern Sierra Land Trust, and you can find out all the information about this, Bob, at the great website for the Eastern Sierra Land Trust, which is eslt.org, eslt.org, or you can call my great friend David Woodruff at 760-920-8061. We are going to have the time of our life. You have been suitably warned. Miss this at your own peril.
Well, Bill, not only are we going to ride with purpose and passion, but it sounds like you got a lot of purpose and passion, not only for the Eastern Sierra Land Trust, but for life. You've enjoyed your life, and you continue to enjoy it, it sounds
Bob,
like.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I had the greatest parents, even though my parents are the most unathletic people you've ever seen. I never shot a basket with my dad. I saw him run one time at the church picnic and fell over laughing. My mom was our town's librarian. Every day, I call my mom before I go to bed. Now, my dad passed 9 years ago, but I call my mom before I go to bed, and I always start the conversation this way, Bob. Yay, Mom. Yay, San Diego, our hometown where I still live. Yay, California. I'm the proudest Californian there is. And, Mom, thanks for the greatest life ever. And she starts the same conversation every night with, say, Billy, did you ever get a job? And now that I'm able to come up to the Eastern Sierra Land Trust big fundraiser there on July 20th and 21st, I can tell my mom that I'm closer than ever to having that fact become a reality. But my parents, my dad didn't like sports, but he loved the outdoors. And he just taught us the greatest appreciation for what we have here in our wonderful state of California. California, knocking on the golden door. California, meet me on the burning shore. How fantastic it is. And to be able to come up, I can remember I was just in elementary school when I was did my first climb of Mount Whitney up there out of Whitney Portal up above Lone Pine, but then all the time we spent in Independence and Big Pine and Bishop and Mammoth and the June Lake Loops and all the great backpacking opportunities up there, Thousand Island Lakes in particular, and Levining and the great bike ride up there, Tioga Pass into Tuolumne Meadows, Mono Lake, Bridgeport, and just all the unbelievable places there. And this is an opportunity for us to step forward and make a difference for the future, because there are so many people trying to come and grab a piece and grab a part of that, and it's just critically important, Bob, that we do whatever we can to preserve and to protect and conserve all the great resources that we have, the open space, the clean air, the clean water, which is the foundation of everything that we have in our life, the opportunities for the wildlife, the dwindling numbers and the species that are just under so much pressure out there. We just have to do whatever is possible to make it so that the earth can survive, and that our children, our grandchildren, I have 4 children, I now have 2 grandchildren, I have a third one on the way, and I just want them to be able to come up to the Eastern Sierra and just be able to take a deep breath, to be able to open their eyes, which will definitely lead to them opening their hearts and their souls. Because I was so lucky, Bob. I grew up in a culture of curiosity, exploration, and experimentation. And I was able to find so many different things because of my parents, because of my great teachers and coaches at an early age. And then I had heroes and role models. And David Woodruff, there with the Eastern Sierra Land Trust, and now the Eastern Sierra Land Trust itself, they are heroes and role models in my life right now. And I'm doing everything I can to try to promote, try to help this fantastic organization as they do just the greatest purpose and mission on earth, which is to create a great life for who's coming next.
Well, a true zest for life there. Bill Walton coming to the Eastern Sierra, helping the Eastern Sierra Land Trust with its Lands and Legacy Weekend. And again, check out their website, eslt.org. We'll be back with a weather report.